if I can get rid of this room, I would, because it is indeed the least important room. But it is my little laboratory where I like to go and play once in a while. And so there's my little color balancer. I photographed that before a session, even though I custom color balance my lights with my main light. You've all seen most of this stuff. I have a rail system that holds muslin backgrounds. This was the garage, so I have to have that rather unattractive, but that's usually a dark area. I opened that window so you could see better, but that Empire heater and pipe doesn't normally show. You asked about the props, Todd. This is where the props are kept, but usually there's a stairway, which I didn't photograph, to the left of that fan that goes up to a little storage area, so a lot of that goes up, but I thought I'll leave a lot of this stuff out because I use it in the baby plan, so in case somebody wondered, what do you use for props and posing aids? This is pretty much everything I have. It's not always in that room at the same time, but I left everything out. So if I'm in my area out in my backyard, then it's a pretty easy lift to go out the front door and carry that stuff up those little steps between the house buildings right into the backyard. And there's the railing seats. It's like having a train set on your ceiling. So and that's I use that in the baby planner, a little weight. This is something I thought I'd show. This is not elegant, but I have these air purifiers in many rooms because being built in a basement and being built in a garage, that purifies the air. It's like creates ions like after a thunderstorm. They're about $129 a piece. I bought 5 of them because I just thought they guaranteed. And you turn that on and it takes out all scents. There's no mold, there's no milk. I mean, we keep it clean, but there's no smell.
Now, Tom, I do want to ask, you've got this camera room. It's a decent camera. It's not oversized. It's not gigantic, but it's good size. It gives you the flexibility to do the things you do. What percentage of all the photograph? Okay, let me rephrase that. Of all the non-baby plan photographic sessions that you do, not including baby plans, what percentage of them would you say you do in your camera room versus on location somewhere or outdoors?
About 25%, because high school seniors, there are still parents who want some of those traditional-looking studio portraits, so we do that. I always go on location with high school seniors, though, so if they do that, it's a small portion of their session, but a lot of times parents, that's their wall portrait. They want something that's more traditional they're used to. So about 25, maybe 30% of all sessions except for baby plans.
Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, that I was curious. Now, your baby plans, you do all of those in the camera room, right?
Yeah, since they're all, and I didn't really go into this, I have the roller system up there that has 4 rollers electrically controlled, and I have a mishmash of lights. I collect lights. I have alien bees, I've got old photogenic lights, I've got all kinds of different stuff, Einstein's, made by Paul Buff, and so it depends on the job, but the white background that I use is rolled up right now on the electronic roller, but it just will roll down. It's 30 feet long, so it can cover almost the whole room if I ever needed it. There's just, again, more chairs and props. Again, this stuff isn't always all out. As a matter of fact, the area you're looking at right now is usually dark. They can't see the stove. They can't see back there. It's just the camera room area in front that's lit. And this all is kind of invisible. I will say that leather chair, if a high school senior's mom comes in, which is often the case, I'll say, this is the mom's chair. It's comfortable. You'll want to go to sleep, and they all laugh and they sit back there. And then I say, and remember, you can't say a word. Although the mom helps me. She fixes hair and stuff. But it gives her a place to bounce back and forth without standing next to the senior. So This area, again, is all open and nothing to trip over, but I wanted people to see kind of what I use.
What is your ceiling height in the camera room?
That's about 12 feet. That was one of the things about this. It's not hugely tall, but it's tall enough that I can get my lights up so that they are a 45-degree angle above eye level. I have to turn that 4x6 sideways to do that a lot of times. That's a 4x6 foot softbox. That's not only, I use that quite a bit, but I also have some other key lights that are not quite as large as I can get higher. It depends on your taste. Like an artist, we've got all kinds of paintbrushes, so sometimes I use that larger light, sometimes I use other lights, kicker lights from the side. I've got all kinds of different stuff. It depends on what I want, but I'm looking, again, for consistency in the studio. If I have someone came in for a portrait against that old master's background with that light, with those kick lights, I could do pretty much the same thing, so it matches their older brother or sister, and they want to have the same look or style. So, it's funny, tastes have shifted. I have over 300 backgrounds in the studio. I probably use 5 or 6 of them. Now, there's a few things, but I try not to do anything that's too trendy looking. So I've accumulated a lot of backgrounds over the years that I never use because they are dated or they look dated, and we really want the focus to be on the subject, or we're on location.
That's a little bit of an extension of the 80-20 law, right? Probably about, 80% of your photographs are created with 20% of your backgrounds.
That's right. You got it.
Yep. Right.
And you learn. You go to different events, and they'll have the sales team there. Hey, this is the latest background, and they got to make a living too. But the simple stuff that in my baby plan that really makes me the most money is I don't use a lot of props or anything else. But that roller system was a great investment. I've had that about 25 years. It still works. That saved me some heartache. And there's another rolls of paper I could put behind this thing here, but I use some. I don't use them as much as I used to, that's for sure.
So what brand of lights do you use outdoors?
I use the Einstein, and I use, that's just Paul C. Buff, but I also use Alien Bees. The Einstein is new, new 2 years ago. And the Alien Bees, if I'm using multiple light setup. And I use different types of modifiers. One's, Larson makes them. Godox, G-O-D-O-X makes them. There's several manufacturers, and they all have the ring that goes to adapt it to your light. So kind of depends on the situation, if I need a lot of light or just a little kiss of light, how many watt seconds I want to drag around. And I have a real light Vagabond battery by Paul Buff that will take up to 2 light plugs. Every year I go, oh, there's so many new cool things I want to buy, but then I'm like, I'm cheap Chuck. I want to just get things that will make me an incredible amount of money and then toss them away or recycle them or whatever and go on to the next one. I'm not an equipment hound.
Yep.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, having equipment just for the sake of having equipment is not smart. But I'm the same way. I'm kind of a pack rat when it comes to stuff, and certainly with equipment, I've got a bunch of stuff here I haven't probably used in years and years and years, but I'm just waiting for that one moment where I'm going to wish I had it. You
never know.
You never know. That's right.
If I were listening to this right now, Tom, well, first of all, Tom, I want to thank you for taking all this time to put this all together, do all these videos, everything. That was really kind of you, and what a great learning experience to walk through your entire studio and have you talk about it and why you do things that way. It was just fabulous. I want to be sure to thank you.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. And if I were on this event, I'd be wondering, how do I adjust all the things? You have this big home. You took your big, at least 2-stall garage and turned it into this beautiful studio. And then you have I don't have that much room. I don't have high ceilings. And that, it can become very simple to become very negative. I don't have this, I don't have that, I could never do that, that would not work in my town, blah, blah, blah. What words of encouragement can you give someone who might be in that place right now?
If you had told me 30 some odd years ago that I'd be here, I wouldn't have believed you. And Chuck used to talk about the studio of your dreams, and I didn't really dream that big. I was like, I'd like to have 2 rooms, because I started off literally renting a room at a real estate building that wasn't very big, and everything was in it. My camera, my projector, you name it. It was all crammed in there. The receptionist, the whole thing. And then I expanded. I was able to rent 2 rooms there, and that's all the rooms they had. Then I moved on and had a home, bought a home in Brewer here that was still a little tight, but it had more rooms, and I lived there as well. But it's a step at a time with a goal in mind. Chuck talks about. You have these goals. I'd like to be in a bigger place by this, but you don't have to have a big camera room. You don't have to have any of that. As long as you have the system that we teach, you can do consultations at their home. You can do projection at their home. You can do the photography at their home, and you can deliver the portraits to their home. And in some ways, you don't have to go around and dust all the stuff that I do. So, I mean, and so it's there are. Don't worry about what you don't have. Be grateful for what you do have, which is your brain and your heart and your mind and desire. those are going to get you where you want to be, not the physical brick and mortar building. Is it cool, fun to have? Yes. And I'm awful glad I do, but I worked awful hard for it. But you can do it without this and still be a huge success.
Beautifully said, Tom. Thank you so much.